Yo, what's happening guys, King GBL here, and welcome back to another Halloween Cup video. Today we're going to be showcasing a very interesting and strong team in the Halloween Cup, featuring Umbreon in the lead, a very uncommon lead in this cup. We have Toxicroak on the safe swap, and Carbink in the closing position. Umbreon in particular is very impressive in this cup. It does quite well against the Nidoqueens. It basically does very well in all neutral matchups, and even in some less favourable matchups, such as, let's say, Toxicroak, you can still put in a lot of damage with Last Resort, and you oftentimes force a shield off the opponent. This team is super strong. It's a team I got from one of my Discord members, but I think it is a Pogo Grind team, so shout out to Pogo Grind as always for making another fantastic team. I gained about 50 plus elo with this team, and I definitely could have won a few more matches had I played a few things slightly differently, or had a little bit better luck, so I'm very impressed with this team, and I think it's a very good one for climbing. Anyway guys, let's hop on into the video. You guys know the drill. Hit that like button if you haven't already, drop a sub if you haven't already. We're very close to 3k subs. So this game we had a Drifblim lead. It's not a very common lead, I've seen it a couple of times, but you do see the odd Jellicent lead, and I've even seen a couple of Ghost leads. Now because we have two really good answers to this, I swap straight into Umbreon again. The opponent goes for Mystical Fire. We're going to commit to the farm down. By the way guys, the gameplay is cut off at the top, so apologies if that looks a bit funny. Now we do have Azumarill here, and this is exactly why I swapped it to Toxapex. Toxapex is your only real Azumarill answer. Once again, you might think with all the poison types, Azumarill will be pretty uncommon in this cup. Azumarill is more common than you would think, however it's not really running Hydro Pump. So I'm more than happy to actually swap in with Carbink here. I look to eat up some damage. I do shield up the first move just in case it is Hydro Pump, and I think these are the moves we're going to shield anyway. But without Hydro Pump, Azumarill doesn't really have the greatest matchup against Carbink because you don't really have that super effective move to hit it with. And Carbink is just so bulky that you can throw neutral rock slides and just kind of whittle it down with Rock Throw. That's pretty much what Carbink's for. Do let me know in the comment section down below, have you built a Carbink yet? And also let me know in the comments, today's video and yesterday's video are a little bit shorter. Do you prefer the shorter or longer videos? Do comment down below and let me know. So we come in here, I think we live anyone move still, and we're going to get some jabs through. We do just about live that. Can we get off the move? We can't, but we've got them super low at this point. I think the opponent realizes in top left, we have an Umbreon, we have a Carbink, and we can just whittle it the whole way down. So in this cup, one of the Pokemon that you would think would be a super big problem is not really. Now, a very interesting lead, technically a negative lead. It's a dark type versus a fairy, but you're going to see here Umbreon with the bulk. It just really hangs in here, and the moveset of this thing can be a little bit different. Sometimes they're running Player Off. A lot of them are running Pop and Iron Head for the Carbinks. So it's just going to be a guessing game. I do go for a catch here, thinking they're going to YOLO off Player Off. What do we catch here? We do catch the Player Off this time, which is an amazing catch. Definitely very vital. The opponent does get to another move. I believe it's 10 Fire Fangs or whatever this move is for an Iron Head, so we decide to respect it. The opponent comes into this thing, which is not an answer to Carbink. Of course we have super effective Rock Throws and Rock Slides, and we can look to whittle this down quite a lot. We're doing an absolute ton of damage. The opponent did go for an overfarm before throwing this, so if I shield up once, I'm going to have to shield up twice. I decided to let it go, and come in with Toxapex and go for an aggressive farm down. We resist all of the charge moves, Scizor, Liquidation, all resisted by the poison and water. So we're just going to farm this the whole way down. Toxapex is very bulky, but this thing is putting a nice little chip into us, so we'll get off one more move. I'm probably going to try and get a debuff here, which would be unfortunate. Do they get it? They do get the defense drop, which is super annoying. We're just going to swap out of here. In comes Ariados, which is not really what I want to see. This is a bit of a core breaker as well. It's got the poison jabs and our poison stings. It's got the poison move. They go for the catch on Mawile. Very nice catch by the opponent. I guess we do get rid of this thing, but definitely not what I wanted to see. We are debuffed as well here. We're going to try to get off a little bit of damage if possible, and try to outbulk it with Toxapex. Now, I'm kind of surprised the opponent actually shielded that move, knowing that we have another Pokemon in the back. So I think that does give us a chance. They go for Cross Poison. We end up CMPing on the lunge. Had I thrown that move immediately, this would have went through with maximum damage. A little bit unfortunate, bit of an overtap by me. But we're going to get off two of these, and that should put us in a pretty good position, I think. We still have a shield, and once again, we do resist all of the moves from this thing. Toxapex is super bulky. All we basically need to do is get off one more move. We can shield one and let one go, of course, and I think we should be in a very good position here. Ariados is not known for its bulk. They will get off one more lunge or Cross Poison here. I think Cross Poison hits slightly harder. We do get off the lunge, and that's going to be good games. So yeah, what was looking like quite a tricky game, we do manage to clutch it up in the end, and Toxapex is such a key thing in this team. It's the only thing that can really answer Toxicroak, even though like Toxicroak does super effective damage. You can look to whittle it down with poison jabs, and that's basically the thing with this whole team. Even if you do have bad matchups, you can whittle it down. The only thing is, whenever you get Carbink on Umbreon on the lead, that can be very rough if you get the alignment. But apart from that, like, you're pretty comfortable, or at least fine with everything else. We're going to go for an overfarm. We do eat the Outrage. I was tempted to catch it on Carbink, however I don't necessarily like safe swapping Carbink. We do go for an Aqua Tail catch on Toxapex, which is looking very good here, and the opponent comes into Toxicroak. Now this is where we're going to see Toxapex come into play. Toxicroak gets 2 of these mud bombs and 6 counters. It takes us 8 and then 7 for these, so they outpace us and they're throwing super effective moves. But you're going to see with the bulk, we can eat the first one, they have to shield that move, and basically all we need to do is land one move. They actually let us get this off, which is amazing, and if we land this move, I'll be more than happy to let this go. Yep, the opponent lets it go, and look how low we're getting them. This is a very, very negative matchup. We just let this go at this point and come in and go for farm down. What I decided to do is come in and absorb with Umbreon, and basically look to go for the sweep with Stinky Binky. That foul play could have been handy later on, but I'm happy enough just to go for the farm down and try to sweep with Stinky. The opponent does not get off another move, and we'll see what they come in with. I think the opponent's thinking long and hard, and they don't have an answer to Stinky Binky. Toxicroak obviously was their main answer, and that's going to be good games well played. In this next game, we have a negative lead in Ponyard. A Ponyard can do super effective damage with the fast moves, and Iron Heads will add up, of course. All of our moves are resisted, but once again, this is what I'm talking about with Umbreon. Going straight foul play, you win the zero shield, and you can actually force a shield off the opponent if they want to take switch advantage. So I'm satisfied enough to do that for now. We're going to stay in here, because this thing is a little bit tricky, right? I mean, it's pretty fine for Toxapex. It can be very rough for Carbink, because of course it knows Iron Head. So it is a bit of a tricky Pokemon. I'm happy enough to deal with it in the lead, try to get a shield off the opponent, and look to sweep with Carbink and Toxapex. The good thing about this team is you don't really need to like prioritize your shields anywhere. You can just kind of use them where you need them. We're actually in a 2-to-1 shield advantage, and if the opponent's running more glassy Pokemon, they actually aggro swap out of that, which I'm not too sure about that one. It is a Jellicent on Bubble. Now the good thing about Bubble is it generates energy a little bit slower. It's normally 4-3 free for Surf. With Bubble, it's 4-4 free. So from my point of view here, having to eat potentially one less Surf, as opposed to getting Bubble down a little bit, I'm very, very happy with that situation. We're just going to shield this up here. And again, we're just whittling it down with Carbink. What is a very negative matchup, it doesn't really look that negative anymore because we can still eat a Surf. I've got a very low ranked Carbink, and we're still eating that Surf and getting off the rock slide. The opponent will be forced to shield if they want to take switch, and the opponent does rightfully let it go. We come straight into Toxapex. In comes their own Stinky Binky. We have a shield, they have a shield, and I think we're in a good position here. The only thing I have to watch out for is the catch, potentially, which could throw a spanner in the works here. They still have some energy on their Ponyard, and that could come into play here. We'll see what happens. The opponent goes for a rock slide, and we're going to go for... I'm trying not to get caught on here. We're going to go for a Brine. We're over farming and going for Brines, and we'll see what the opponent wants to do here. The opponent goes for the swap. Now, to be honest with you guys, at this point, I didn't realize how much energy they had. I shielded up the first move thinking we'll go for farm down, but unfortunately the opponent has back-to-back moves, and it's going to be a little bit tricky to farm this the whole way down. So what we're going to have to do here is go for a catch and Carbink, which is a very, very vital thing in this matchup. Now what this really comes down to is, can I get off 2 moves on the Carbink? We're very, very low. A couple of rock throws will take us out. Are we quite at the back-to-back moves? That's basically what we need to win this match. The opponent shields up the first one, but unfortunately the rock throw that went through took us out. So a little bit unfortunate. I think we played that match well, but of course the opponent had a very good, favourable alignment. And back in comes Mawile once again. Again, I don't know what moveset this is going to be on. And they're running Fire Fang, of course, for the bug types in the meta. We see a ton of Scizors, a ton of Escavaliers. I don't think you necessarily see them in the lead that often. I knew that would just be a Popper and Iron Head, so I'm happy to let that go. And we're just going to whittle it down with Carbink. Every move I can throw is resisted here, but as you can see, like, Mawile's just not that bulky. They end up shielding a foul play, and at that point I'm happy to swap out. By the way, Steel double resists Poison, so it's still resisted even though they've got a Fairy typing. So it's single resisted Poison Jabs. The opponent calls a bait, which is quite nice, but I'm actually really happy with this. I said on stream, I'm going to throw this, and if they don't shield it, I'm happy. I'll get the farm down and get the energy. I actually prefer the situation here, because if they come back in with Mawile, we can just insta-throw a Brine and take it out. But in comes Greninja. Guys, we're not messing around here. We're just going to YOLO off the big move. The opponent knows I've got a ton of energy, and they just let it go, which is pretty insane. And at this point, guys, I can jab it down, but I'm deciding to let it go. Night Slash coming through. Now in comes Stinky Binky. Or do we go in Umbreon here? Let's have a look. We do go in Stinky Binky. The opponent swaps straight out, and they do get off a move here. Now, I'm going to respect the Iron Head, and I think we should be able to farm it down. The opponent goes for a pop. Can we farm this the whole way down? They do get off a last-second move. This should be just a pop, or so I thought. The opponent goes for the Iron Head and absolutely one-shots the Stinky Binky. For all of you Stinky Binky haters out there, you're going to enjoy that one, but we do manage to win that match, and good games nonetheless. We get a very nice 4-1 to start off the day, which I'm definitely very happy to see. I have been having quite a difficult time in Go Battle League recently. I was all the way up to 2800 2 weeks ago during Go Battle Weekend. Unfortunately though, I've been up and down, and I was even as low as below 2500, so definitely not doing the greatest here. This team actually did help me get back up over 26, and I think I'll most likely run this team on stream today as well. I try to gain a little bit of elo and get ourselves in a good position. We do have 2 weeks of Halloween Cup, so once again guys, feel free to send in some battles for me if you're using any unique and interesting teams. If you ever wanted to get some feedback on your gameplay, or like I said, just some sort of reactions and stuff like that, now's a really good time to do so. And by the way, guys, I wanted to show this one battle here. The opponent did not have to swap out a lot match. Sometimes you might think, okay, we'll safe swap and draw something out, but safe swapping Azu in a Toxicroak meta, not really the play. So I wanted to show that just to sort of give you guys an idea that maybe that's not the greatest idea. If you've got a pawn yard, just stay into the Umbreon. Leaf Blade coming through, we can just jab the crap out of this thing. I'm going to eat a second Leaf Blade, but I don't necessarily want to eat a third one, and I don't want to let them whittle me down to the point where they can just keep farming. So I decided to throw off a Brine, which should put them in farm down range and make it very, very comfortable at this point. Shiftry, I think Junkus was showcasing that a few days ago, and in comes a very negative Pokemon for us. They're going to try and farm us the whole way down, but even though this is very bad for us, a couple of Sludge Bombs, Sludge Waves, sorry, I keep mixing those two up. Two of these would get it into the yellow, and the opponent makes a pretty bad play in my opinion. They go for a Snipe, but now they're locked onto Stinky Binky with Beedrill. I think that was just completely unnecessary. They're just kind of overplaying their hand a little bit here, getting the farm with Jellicent and coming in here, just completely giving up alignment, and look what it's cost them. I mean, this is not looking very, very good for them now. I can come in with this. I'm going to swap straight into Umbreon, expecting them to go for a Snipe. And yeah, this is just very, very dominant for us at this point. These surfs are not adding up whatsoever. The opponent is not top lefting out of this match quite yet, but I think I just keep over farming until they top left eventually. I think the opponent definitely could have held on to alignment there. I guess they knew we had Umbreon, which would have came back in anyway, so they were trying to make a play, but a little bit unfortunate. Now, is this the match where I completely misplay this? Guys, so here's a little bit of a lesson for you. You need to throw these after 1 or 5 as the Umbreon, because as you see here, I made a complete mess of this. I have seen this matchup in our Discord about 3-4 times, and I've never seen them overfarm like this before, so I'm thinking, okay, I'm definitely going to get free Snarls, which is going to help me win this matchup. Because even though they're throwing super effective moves, once again, these foul plays really add up. They're not resisted, and we do eventually go for the catch and Toxicroak, which should definitely be an Scizor. I don't think they're throwing Discharge. Scizor coming through, and the opponent swaps into Scizor. Now, this is not a very good match for Scizor, so the opponent may be very weak to Toxicroak in the back. So it kind of made me think, oh, maybe I made a mistake here. They do go for Trailblaze, which of course guarantees the attack boost. These are resisted bullet punches, and this is a very glassy Pokemon. They do rightfully shield that move, and we're going to try and get off another one. They actually let us get off another one. The opponent's an over-farming Andy here. And this Brine, if it goes through, will come very close to KOing. At this point, guys, I'm very, very happy with this. The opponent can take us out here, but we can come back in with Umbreon, look to go for one move. And once again, go for the sweep with Stinky McBinky. We get the foul play off, which is beautiful here. This will chip them down very, very low, and put them on the point where that actually just KOs them. And in comes Greninja. We're going to come in with Stinky Binky. We're up a shield. Now, you're about to see how stupid this Pokemon is. We're going to go for this no shield right here. I've seen them baiting, which is just ridiculous, honestly. I'm happy enough to let that go. We go for a 1 and throw. The opponent does not catch, which is beautiful. Throwing in good timing to make sure they don't catch. Now, at this point, I think this maybe could have just been a foul Night Slash, but I wasn't risking it. Back in comes Charjabug, and this is game over anyway. Good games, very well played. As you can see, up a shield. Stinky Binky can deal with a lot of things. Now, in comes another Mawile. I'm seeing an absolute ton of these Mawiles today. Once again, I'm happy enough to stay in for a while, and potentially look to go for a catch later on. But if I can deal with this here, I'd be more than happy, honestly. I'm going to let this first move go. Power Punch, it usually is, right? We go for a 1 and throw for good timing, and we'll see what the opponent wants to do. Surely they'll realize they're getting whittled down here quite a lot. I am going to go for a catch here. Unfortunately, I miss it, but the opponent throws the move anyway. They missed it too. And we're going to eat a resisted Power Punch, which I'm very, very happy to see here. Once again, this must be a popular team. Somebody must be running this team with the Victory Bell. I'm going to go for the bait once again, because again, we can just farm it down. Yep, the opponent decides to shield it. And at this point, guys, I'm happy enough if I can get off another move. The opponent CMPs us on a Leaf Blade. I'm happy enough just to shield this. This is very, very easy shield for me. CMPing is a bit of a mistake in that situation, because it basically guarantees that I get off the move. Now we've got them super, super low. I'm going to come in with Umbreon, just basically absorb the move, and look to go for a Stinky Binky sweep. That's something to keep in mind. I always play for CMP, but it's not always the best move. We'll see what the opponent decides to come into. They come into Greninja. This should be game over for us. I'm just going to eat the first move, because we're going to have to eat a move anyway. The opponent goes for Night Slash. That was not the play. That was not the play. They go for the catch. Nice catch, brother. Nice catch. We're going to farm it the whole way down. We're going to go for the Mooney Bee, and that's going to be good games. So even though the opponent had a very favourable alignment, they basically countered us from front to back. We did outplay them with this team, and that's what this team is all about. Guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe. I am streaming here on YouTube every day for the Halloween Cup, so by all means, get on notifications, and feel free to join us and have a bit of fun in there. Thanks, everybody. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you all tomorrow for another stream and video.